The way to happiness is by letting go of desire. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tipharot. It's me, Matt here. Welcome back to Mind Mastery. In this episode we're going to talk a little bit about letting go. So what do I mean when I say letting go? Well, I'm talking specifically about letting go of desire, letting go of lust for result. Now, we all know how this can impede us, because when we have this lust for result, we're so focused and stressed about the particular thing that we want to get, that often we actually get in the way of our own progress towards actually getting it. But the other thing about this is that we get into this cycle of the chase. Rather than wanting to have, X amount of money and being happy when you get there, what happens is the moment that you actually get to that amount of money that you thought would make you happy, you now desire more. And desire is like this. Desire is like this monster that's so hungry and can never be full. Like, you can feed it all of the townspeople, all of the animals, whatever, and this monster is still going to want more and more and demand more and more from you. So the only way to actually truly be happy in yourself is to get rid of that desire. And this is a strange concept, because does this mean I'm suggesting to become an ascetic somewhere, living in the wild with no possessions, no money or anything like that? No, of course not. In fact, quite the opposite. I think that people should strive to have money, people should strive to have a nice car, a nice house, a nice life for themselves. What people shouldn't have or do is feel like they're going to get their happiness from those things. Those things should be rather a symptom, or rather a side effect of the actual life that you're living. They should be a side effect of you living a rich and positive life, a life that's happy, a life that's fulfilling. As a side effect of doing that and doing it with passion and doing something that you love every day, you get these things, and they're there, and they make it more comfortable, they make things easier on you, but they're not the source of your happiness. The source of your happiness is yourself. Because in this life, we're constantly seeking for external circumstances. We're constantly trying to grasp onto things external to us, when in reality, if you think about it, we're going to lose every single thing external to us. The only thing that we keep throughout our entire life is ourselves. We lose people, we lose things, we lose places, and eventually we're even going to lose our own selves. So what is worth clinging to? If you cling to, money and your possessions and your house and all of this, then what happens when you suddenly get old and maybe you still have all these things, but now you know that you have to face death soon, which means having to give up all of these things and not being able to cling to them any longer. Now this creates stress, and the thing that was supposed to make you happy is actually making you stressed. Instead, you have to draw that happiness from inside yourself. You have to be able to amuse yourself. You have to be able to draw happiness from inside your own brain, instead of all of these outside circumstances. So how do we do this? How do we actually let go of our desire for these things? Well, the first step to letting go of anything is to accept it. You actually have to accept that that desire is there. You have to say, look, I do want this. Be honest with yourself. If you're greedy and you want to be rich, then be honest. Say that. Admit that to yourself. Own up to it. If you just want to get the hell off wherever you live and, go live in the Bahamas, then say that. Admit that to yourself. Allow yourself to actually feel it for a moment. Next, I want you to ask yourself, if you had all these things, would your life just stop? Would you just be done and, have nothing left to do? Do you seriously think that, if you went to this island in the Bahamas or whatever, that you would just be happy for the rest of your life, no matter what? It doesn't work like that. You still have things that you're going to want. You're going to want new things, because now, as you get familiar with these things that you've got, if you went out to the Bahamas, the first, few months there would probably be the most amazing months of your life. You would be really happy that you've attained it, and then you would get familiar with it, and it would no longer be as exciting. You'd start to miss the things about home that you used to love. You'd start to miss the different foods that perhaps they don't have over there. You start to miss the, different shops that you used to go to, the friends that you had. And suddenly now you're desiring for something else, and it starts all over again, and now you're no longer happy with that thing. Happiness for things is fleeting. It comes for moments and it doesn't last. So ask yourself that, and then tell yourself that perhaps it's not the thing that is bringing the happiness, but it is the journey. It's the journey you made to go over there that brought you the happiness for the time that you were there initially. And it's the journey going back to, revisit your friends or whatever, that brings you some more happiness. The point is, life is constantly evolving, so instead of trying to grasp onto one thing or focus on one thing, you need to start loving the journey, loving the steps that you're taking, and loving the change. Embrace change, dive right into it, and don't cling to things. Let go of your desire. So that's been all for this episode of Mind Mastery, and I just wanted to let you guys know that my Advanced Lucid Dreaming series is now out. It's a audio course and you can get that on Gumroad. I'll put a link to it in the video, but I've also got a video that talks a little bit about what the course actually contains, so I'll link to that here. You can check that out if you want to. It should be over there somewhere. And I really do recommend checking it out. I've put a lot of work into it. I'm really happy with how the course has turned out, and I think you guys will like it too. Basically teaches you lucid dreaming from, you know, the basics to everything you need to know. So yeah, check that out, and if you haven't already, remember to subscribe up there because you've got regular videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions about the series or about this episode, then leave them down in the comments below. Remember to check out the Advanced Lucidity course, and thank you guys for watching. Take care.